right, my friends, it's time to review LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. This is a game that I have been looking forward to for so long. I was so excited when it was announced, I think back in 2004. I feel like we've been waiting forever for this freaking game, and it's because TT Games wanted to nail this. They obviously had all of the, movies and the subplots and the characters and the storylines and expectations from the previous successful LEGO Star Wars games that they've done and all the LEGO projects that have come before, and they wanted to kill it. And so this is an extraordinary accomplishment, and one thing that I definitely kind of thought about the entire time I've been playing this game is that if this were the first LEGO Star Wars experience, we'd be talking about this as a Game of the Year candidate. It's just so freaking ambitious and cool and funny, and you honestly get if you collected all of the cut sequences in this game, you get like a full movie's worth of really well-told little story vignettes that take you through the entire gamut of the Star Wars cinematic experience. And it's really quite wonderful just on that part. But obviously what they've also done is they've enhanced the gameplay. They've done a really good job as we float back and forth between all of the different chapters. They've done a really good job at giving us a lot more agency with our characters. They pivoted the camera down. The lightsabers feel better. The blaster shots and the firefights that we get into feel a lot better. Being able to play on both the light and the dark side, as we always have in the LEGO Star Wars games, is really welcome and fun. And there's just this limitless amount of diversion in this experience. Like, you will turn a corner, you know what you got to do story-wise and plot-wise because you've seen these movies a million times, and there might be a little pivot, or there might be a side little character off in the corner, or you might see something up on a ceiling or something like that that you can't quite reach, and the game is telling you, look, come back, you're not done. Even if you beat all of these chapters and play through the entire story, guess what? There's tons of extra stuff to go back in and find. And that's been true for the LEGO Star Wars games, all the LEGO games that TT has made before, but there's something a lot more satisfying about the way that this experience plays out. It's just a really tuned and refined game, like a game experience. It feels not like this toy derivation, not like this idea like we have got these interesting tableaus from the LEGO Star Wars universe, like the toy version, and we're running characters around, sort of from the outside. You feel a lot more ownership on each of these individual characters that you get to play, or the ships that you get to fly. And here's an excellent example. This isn't the best of the tow cable taking down the AT-AT experiences that we've had in a Star Wars video game, but it's not far from that. And this is just one little nugget, buried in the copious amounts of experiences that you get in this game, And the thing that is hammered home as you're playing this game is that there really hasn't been a 3D experience that has taken us through the plots of these Star Wars movies, allowing us to play all of the characters that we love from these movies. And that's okay. I mean, it's great that the Star Wars games have like their own universe and their own cast of characters, and it's great to play as Cal Kestis in the Jedi Fallen Order experiences. It's awesome that there are all these different directions that developers have taken us on that are parallel to what we see in Star Wars. But it's also pretty damn cool to actually, play through The Force Awakens and to blow up Starkiller Base, and then to fly and land and cheer with all of the rebel troops that have done something successful. I also love that there's always a sense of humor, and here's a perfect example here. The infamous scene where Chewie doesn't get a hug from Leia, from General Leia. Well, they really lean into that with TT Games, and one of the things that I love is that this is a team that has a lot of freedom to kind of poke fun at the Star Wars stuff and the mistakes and the weird choices that directors have made or writers have made over the years. And it does that over and over again. There's also a lot of different gameplay variety in the experience. Here we are taking care of the robot troops coming towards us. We're playing as the gun catapults, and we're throwing these energy bombs and destroying all of these droids and trying to blow up the tanks that are coming towards us. It's almost like a real-time strategy type of experience, caught in the middle of all of it. Super fun. This is in the Phantom Menace chapter. And one of the things that I noticed about playing the game is that, I was speeding through it, and I wasn't doing all of the side missions. I wasn't chatting with everybody. This was true when I was playing it on my own to kind of get as much of it into my brain so I could review it, but also when I was streaming it with everybody, I kind of wanted to just follow the mainline quest to kind of show everywhere that we were going to go. And that was really fun. But there are tons and tons of different ways that you can approach all of these chapters. And the thing that I kind of recognized is that it's pretty fun to just play like a chapter a night, because they work out to probably between 2 to 4 hours. So if you total up all 9 of the chapters, you're talking about a pretty lengthy game here. And you're definitely, even if you play each chapter for 4 hours and you do every route and side route, you're still not going to see everything, because you're going to want to unlock the different characters and you're going to want to upgrade everything. There's like a light RPG element in here where you can light up the different classes or upgrade the different classes and give the Jedi more power. You spend the in-game currency. There's also these what were they, Kyber bricks that you pick up from space duels and hidden amongst different backgrounds and things. There's also mini kits that you can collect as well. And through all of that collection, you are upgrading your character classes, but you're also unlocking the opportunity to purchase new characters and ships that then are playable within the game. And the thing that I noticed as well is that, when you're not in a main story mission, you can change out and you can be whatever thing you want to be. If you're fighting a specific story bit, then you're going to be locked to those particular characters. But you don't have to finish the chapter and finish the visit to a location to start sort of testing the waters and playing as different ships and different characters, which is really cool. And the space battles are incredibly satisfying in this game, and I really felt like, obviously they're cut up and they're chopped up. They're not super lengthy because there is this sense of urgency, like we're trying to rush through all of this stuff, and I get it. They're delivering all 9 films in this game, and so they don't want to overstay their welcome, but sometimes you want to stay a little longer, like the Death Star trench run is just ridiculous in Lego form, and they did an awesome job with that. It's also really fun to see these cool vignettes where we see Vader chatting with the bounty hunters, and then this was maybe my one quibble with the game is that they had to make choices on what was playable and what wasn't playable. And this particular sequence where Han and the team are escaping from the giant worm that's coming out of the asteroid, none of that's playable. So you're just watching the movie. It's entertaining. It's super fun that it's there, but there are moments where you just want to be able to play a little bit more of that stuff. But it's a balance, like they couldn't throw every single thing into here, as much as sometimes it does feel like that's exactly the case. I loved the lightsaber duels that you got into as well, not just with Luke and Darth Vader, but Obi-Wan fights Vader, obviously, and Grievous gets, some good lightsaber action in here, and of course the Darth Maul fight is pretty phenomenal. I think they've done a really nice job showcasing. This is one of the coolest, lightsaber battles in Star Wars lore for sure, but also I think a cinematic sword fight ever. Like it went on and on and on, and the game celebrates that right up into the energy walls that the characters have to wait for before they can move through. I thought that was pretty cool. Love seeing the Yoda training that's in the game as well. Empire is my favorite of the Star Wars films, so it was really fun to kind of just soak all of this up, cruising around on Dagobah with Yoda on your back and still making the jumps and still, getting all of the challenges correct and all that. It was really, really fun. Now, one of the things that's true about this game is that it's the first time that The Last Jedi has been put into video game form, and Rise of Skywalker as well. And they've done a really good job celebrating the visual artistry of both of those movies, particularly The Last Jedi, which I know is a very controversial title, a very controversial movie. I have a lot of problems with it, but I don't have a problem with the visual splendor of that film, and it's really well represented. I streamed a bunch of that on Xbox on our Twitch channel, so definitely check that out at twitch.tv/EPN, and it looks amazing on Series X. Most of the footage that you're looking at here is directly off of the Series X. You're going to see a lot more reflections, a lot more, beautiful lighting, and better resolution and better anti-aliasing for sure. But I was also incredibly impressed by the quality of the Nintendo Switch version. I wasn't prepared for it. I streamed it a couple of times for hours on our Twitch channel, and all of us in chat and myself, we were constantly expressing like, wow, they really nailed it. They really got the look and feel. So there's not, you're not taking the biggest hit in the world. You're going to drop in frame rate, and you're going to drop in resolution, and you're going to drop in anti-aliasing. But the experience is there, and it still looks amazing on Nintendo Switch. And there's lots of really cool celebratory moments that are tiny little pieces of the film, but they are extended a little bit and just celebrate it, right? You're going to get all of these cursory characters and side characters popping up. You see Han hugging all of the money that he made by saving Princess Leia. There's all kinds of stuff like that, It was great to see Billy D. Williams is actually a part of the voice cast. He's playing Lando in the game. And Anthony Daniels is C-3PO in the game. And I think, last time I checked on IMDb, 92 different actors have been credited as different voices in this experience. Sam Witwer is in there. A lot of the Clone Wars cast is in there as well. I can quibble. I can certainly say that, Lego Star Wars is not a shock in the grand sense, because they didn't just throw out all of the work that they've done before. The minifigs are the minifigs. But because of that, though, it's not brand new. It's territory that we've kind of explored before, but it's always felt a little more removed, and definitely not as polished. And ever since Lego games have started to employ a lot of voice cast, they've just become a lot more professional feeling, But this is the game and they've tried, like Lego Force Awakens had some really cool tuning in its gameplay and stuff, and so there's been an evolution with these Lego games, but this is the biggest one for sure. This is the one where everything just felt really fresh and cool. It's like a cover shooter and a dogfight game, and it's got a ton of comedy and a great sense of humor. There's a lot thrown into this title. Honestly, I do believe that the best way to appreciate it is to just not burn through it. I say this a lot, but I think it's really important for some titles to just kind of let them breathe a bit. And if you don't overstay your welcome in playing a Lego game, and this applies to the Lego experiences across the board, but especially in this case where everything is nicely carved up for you per episode like that. If you play an episode a night, I think you're going to have an incredible time, Maybe you pair it up with watching one of the movies and then you play the episode. It's so much freaking fun. So I can quibble. I can certainly hammer the point home that there's been a lot of these, not just Lego Star Wars games, but a lot of Lego TT games, and they've all been pretty decent. And that butts up against this thing feeling like, oh my God, I've never played anything like this before. But it's still incredible. It's still an excellent get. And if you are a Lego fan or a Star Wars fan, I don't see how you can pass up Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. It's like the ending of A New Hope. It's like the Death Star blowing up. It's so satisfying. I love this freaking game. I am going to give Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga a 9 out of 10.